I think that's Becca. I see the picture there. And who else do I see? Hi Becca, thank you. Hi Jason, good morning, welcome. It's nice to see some masculine energy too. That's a topic that I'm actually gonna be talking about in the future. It's already scheduled the live about the masculine and the feminine. Okay. So it's funny because I have a second camera here for the recording, and I don't know why it just started recording. And now I can't stop it. Wow, that's magic. Okay, I leave it on. That's amazing. So guys, today we are gonna be talking about vision boards or dream boards. That's what you have in here. Okay, this is my latest one. I want to share with you the process that I went through. I want to share with you some of the benefits of having one, what's behind creating these things, what can you create. Okay, it doesn't have to be this. It can be something different in a different format, smaller, bigger, could be with pictures, without pictures, so you can create whatever you want. Okay, so that's gonna be the topic for today. Yeah, much needed for everyone to know masculine and feminine. Yeah, that's something that the masculine and feminine energies is something that I have been listening to content about, reading about, and trying to integrate that in my life, in my relationships, especially with my partner Samantha. Learn how to lead, learn how to be led, and there is a lot of depth into that, and I will talk about that in that specific session. Okay, but for today, I'm curious to know how many of you have a vision board or a dream board, something that you look at that makes you feel well, that represents what you want to become, things you want to do, things you want to see in your life. How many of you have something like that? And if you are watching the recording, feel free to use the comments, okay? So don't be shy. And I just want to share something while you guys respond. This is another example of that I have shared this with you guys, but this is another example of how a dream board, a vision board can look like. This is not a board, okay? Because a board is like something you put on the wall, but there are no rules to create this. You can create whatever you want. This one, I remember the small one, I drew this when I was with Eva, with my daughter Eva. She was probably, I would say probably 6 months old, something like that. And I went to a cafe with her with a stroller, and I had markers, and I just wanted to draw. I just wanted to let what was in my mind out. It's like, what do I want in life? What's important for me? What are the priorities? What are my main intentions? And then this came out of that. This was probably like a 45-minute while I was having a coffee, and it's still very relevant for me. So it's still something that I love. But like the meaning of this, for example, is like I ended up drawing this in the middle with a heart, and this represents my family, and this is the most important. This is the core for me. And then from here, we have a beautiful home that we feel well in, and then I create content, put it out into the world, and then the world gives me money, gives me recognition, support. I keep always learning, always going up, always like up in my game, sharing with audiences. I feel inspired to do that. And then my life has adventure in so many different ways. I pursue water sports. Yeah, this is something that when I look at it, it really inspires me, okay? And I have this inside my journal. So anytime I open my journal, I have it on that page, and then I look at it, and it's a great reminder. So this is one example. Let's see. Erin says, Shelly says, I have, but I created it some years back. Okay, but you have one, that's okay. Erin says, I have a vision board, pages for each life category in my goals journal. I keep adding to them. That's amazing, Erin. So you have different pages that represent different things, right? And then you just look at them, and each of them represents a category of your life. That would be so cool. I would love if you had a camera and you could show us. That would be amazing. Thank you for sharing. Shelly says, I have taken a lot off, so not so much left on. Okay, Shelly, maybe it's the right time for you to create a new one. Ooh, what do you think? That is beautiful. Thank you. Becca says, what do the hearts mean for you? Did you say the word happy? So yeah, this heart, yeah, the heart means love, unconditional love, means compassion, means acceptance, means happiness, means harmony. It means a lot of things for me, those hearts, right? But basically that everything that I do, I try to do it connected with my heart. And this is something that at this time I wasn't aware of, but after doing a couples program with my wife, like the concept of opening my heart, connecting with my heart, feeling with my heart, that to me was, what are you talking about? How do you do that? Because I didn't know how to do that. So I'm trying to connect more with my heart, and everything I do, I want to feel it. I don't want it to be just logical or theory. I want to feel it. I want to have an emotional feeling, okay? And I'm getting more in tune with that. So that's what it means for me. And you can use whatever signs, whatever pictures you want, okay? Jason says, I did a big mind map a few years ago in a journal that served well, but new challenges mean it needs some rethinking. Yeah, Jason, and that's wonderful, right? So many times a dream board will keep its meaning for a while. Sometimes your life will keep evolving and you will keep evolving as a person, and then your wants, your needs, your specific situation will change, and then you will then need to reflect that in what is it that you want. Okay, so there is not a right or wrong way here. It doesn't matter if you have never done one, and if you don't want to have one, that's fine too. Okay, but why I feel that this is a good exercise, because we become what we think of the majority of the time, and that's a quote, right? That you can find online. So we become what we think about the majority of the time. So if you take that quote and you think about the meaning of it, the more you can remind yourself of what you really want, the more clarity you can create about yourself, the easier it's gonna be for you to become that, to achieve that, to vibrate with that, what you want in your life. And there is also law of attraction. If you have heard of the law of attraction, it's also related to it. You have to connect, you have to have a clear intention, high emotion, you put those things together, you vibrate at the same vibration as what you are trying to create or attract into your life. And if you can eliminate the blockages that you may have, you may be able to attract that. But in order for you to do that, first you need to know what is it that you want. How do you want to feel in the future? What do you want to create and why, right? So you have to have a really clear intention, clear goal, if you want to call it. And then from there, then you can start visualizing how will I feel. And then in the present moment, you are going to start feeling what you will feel there. And that's also a really beautiful exercise. And yeah, and I can show you the one I did. I can share with you the resistance I was facing before and during the process, and also what came out of it, and how everything unfolded without me having to micromanage every step of the way. It was kind of a pretty magical process, to be honest. Becca says, thank you. Obviously, you work very hard for what you want. Yeah, Becca, and I don't know if working very hard is the word. I like it more. I think of what I want as much as I can, because it doesn't have to be hard work. It can be fun work. It can be easy work, but at least you are reminding yourself of your intentions, and you are not getting distracted with 1,000 things that then you don't take action in any, and you are not paying attention to any. That's why clarity is helpful, because the more clarity you have, the more you can start recognizing opportunities that may show up, the more you can recognize blockages that you may have inside that you need to work through in order for you to get there, to have that, to feel that, to enjoy that you want to see. Kathleen says, I've never done a vision board. I have had some changes in my life recently, and I don't know where I am going from here. I feel lost. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, Kathleen, in your situation, that is probably the best way to create one, because you are facing a crossroads. You are stepping into the uncertainty, into unfamiliar territories, and it feels scary. And at the same time, it's a field of opportunities. It's like you have a field and there is nothing planted in there, okay? And then you have to decide, what am I gonna plant here? So you have the ability to start putting seeds of whatever you want to start seeing in your life, and then start nurturing those seeds, and hopefully things that you would like to see are going to start coming up. So guys, how you want to structure this call? Do you want me to show you what I did a little bit and then you ask questions, or do you have specific questions before that you would like me to address? How are you doing? Let me know. Lisanne says, excited because I can do whatever I want, don't know what I want. Lisa, that is a beautiful exercise. You can do whatever you want, but you don't know what you want. So this is your time to make a choice. Because if you don't make a choice, someone else, something else is going to make it for you. And that is the reality. So if you don't make a choice, something, someone else is gonna make it for you. And maybe it's not what you want, maybe it's not what you really could create. So amazing. Becca says, sounds like a vision board can bring clarity and excitement and squashes fear. Yeah, show what you did and the process. I would love you to show us what you did and what the results were and why you believe it worked for you. Okay, would love to see. Okay, so let's start there. I think that's a great idea. So this is the one I created. Okay, so this one is big, but what is it? So I just took 4 pages. Okay, so this is one page, 2, 3, 4, and I taped them together. And it's funny because my daughter drew on one in the back a face. So basically I taped these 4 pages together, and then I put this string here with tape and with staples so that I could move it. For me, it was important, and this came after, it was important that I was able to move it. Why? Because sometimes I have it here, sometimes I have it on top of my altar, and if I want to take it somewhere, I can just take it off the nail, and then I can bring it with me, I can show it to someone, and I just liked it, and my intuition told me to do that. So how did the process look like to make this? So the first thing that I did, first I was inspired to do this because my wife, Samantha, she did one for herself a few weeks back. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, wow, like I really want to create a new one for me. And I think that size looks nice. And I have this new space here that I'm going to be for the next months. And it's my space. So it felt really like the right time for me to do it. Also, my wife and Eva, they left to Canada for 3 weeks for a vacation and I was alone. So I thought it's the great opportunity for me to do this. So the first thing that I did, I gathered a lot of magazines that my wife bought a bunch. So I had those ones. And for a few weeks prior to, I was thinking I will make one. Every time I saw a picture, a pamphlet, a magazine, a newspaper, something that called my attention and had something that I want, I will pick that up and I will put it in a drawer. And I was collecting things. So I had the intention of, what do I want? What makes me feel happy? So I went to a kite surfing school and I saw there's a pamphlet with a kite surfing guy, and I just took it, and so it's this one here, right? So I started to collect the things. I went for a meditation retreat and I really liked the meditation retreat, so I took this pamphlet and I took this page that is here, right? And then I had magazines of with food and stuff, so it's on this side. Wait a second. It's on this side, right? All the fruit. So basically you see a bunch of things here, but I had the intention prior to start creating, to start collecting the things that I wanted to put in here. But I didn't know how it would look like. But I collected all that. So when I had everything ready and I say, okay, I'm gonna start the process of creating it, physically creating it, first I will do a ceremony, a little bit of meditation, I will put some nice music on, and then I started to spread out all the magazines, and I had this in the center, this white thing with nothing, and then I will start cutting pictures, and I will start selecting pictures. So this is water sports, this is meditation, this is food, this is a house. My wife and I, we are trying to manifest a beautiful space where we can live in, that has enough space, at least 3 bedrooms, that has outdoor space. So we are trying to manifest that. So that's why you see a lot of things with houses, right? That's why you see this here, this here, this here. There is a lot of stuff with houses, right? So that's something that we are trying to manifest. And this is something interesting, because when I was cutting all those pictures of the houses, I was noticing what I was feeling. I was cutting those pictures, and then some of my inner critic was saying, Emilio, you will never be able to afford a house. That is so much space. What else? That is so wasteful. That will require a lot of energy. You are just wasting energy if you have such a house like that. What else? Having a house like that will equal paying a lot of bills, and then I will have to work way harder, and then my life will be hell. So my inner critic was just talking like that, and I was observing it, because that's my resistance. That's an example of the resistance. And then I was just taking notes, right? Okay, yeah, that's something I have to work on. That's something I have to work on. Those beliefs of having a house equals this, having a house equals that, I will never be able to afford that, etc., etc. So that already, it's a healing process. It's an awareness process. You are cutting pictures of something that you want, and you are paying attention to your inner dialogue. That is something that you have to do. And then you start noticing, wow, I'm feeling really good about this. Or, wow, I'm feeling like discomfort. It feels weird, it feels uncomfortable, it feels tense. I notice tension in my shoulders, or I notice something in the pit of my stomach, or I'm noticing that I believe that I will never have this, etc. So you are working through those things. So that is a really wonderful process. Something also that showed up for me before doing this was a lot of procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. I will do it tomorrow. And days were going by, and I was thinking, Emilio, it's time to do this. You have the space, you have the time. Why are you procrastinating this? And then there was always something that was more important, something that I had to do before sitting down. And that was my perfectionism. That was my inability to let go of, I don't know how it's gonna look like. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't need to know all the steps. I just have to get started. And that was what I was reminding myself. Just get started. So step 1, put the 4 pages together and tape them, and just leave it there. Step 2, sit down and start cutting pictures. That's it. Just do that with music and have fun. So I was doing that. Step 3, start presenting some of the pictures. And then everything started to unfold. Everything started to flow. And I stopped thinking. I didn't have to think about the steps. I didn't have to think about what I wanted or how it would look like. I just started to feel, oh, this house is beautiful. It looks nice here. And then I started to place pictures on different areas of the thing. And then when I had all the things that I wanted to attract, that some of them are house, I really want to have a really nice relationship with my wife, with intimacy, with quality time. And then I wanted to have space with other people to do circles. That is here. I wanted to have inviting spaces. I wanted to have relaxation. I wanted to do water sports. So there were a lot of things. I want to be playful. I want to play my guitar. What else? I want to play with my friends and have fun. I want to eat really nice food. I want to be able to explore and be adventurous and jump into the void. So all those things, and I started to put them in here. And then when I finished, something that I also added that I really love is pictures of myself. For example, water sports. I put the picture of myself holding my kitesurfing board, and that's my daughter. I'm holding my daughter and I'm holding the sport. And this picture really makes me happy because it equals freedom, it equals I am being a dad, I am including her in my activity, I am being supported, it's playful. And then if you see here, so this is Samantha, my wife, when she was little, and this one is Samantha too. So that is the inner child. That's Samantha's inner child. And then on this side, that is Eva, my daughter Eva. And then in here, that's me. So that's me when I was little, that's my inner child. And then in here, that's me too, my inner child. And why is this here? Because I don't want to forget that that inner child is there. It's inside of me, it's inside of Samantha, it's inside of my parents, it's inside of each of you. And you have to remember that that inner child is there. And when you are going through a rough time, when you are questioning beliefs that you created when you were little, when you are trying to heal something, always have your inner child in mind, because he's inside of you. He did what he could at that time, and now you can help him create more things. You can help him feel better. And that's why I feel that placing pictures of myself and this inner child, my intuition guided me to do that. So this is how it looks like, the one that I created. I don't know if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to comment something or say something. So Erin says, my health board includes things like magazine clippings of walnuts and pistachios for reminding me to stalk and snack on those, and a woman meditating in lotus position, and the words strong, happy. Make the natural choice, optimize your energy. That's beautiful, Erin. And again, there is not a wrong or right way of doing a vision board, dream board. This is the one I created now, but you can use something different. It can be smaller, it can be bigger. You can write things, you can use your own pictures, you can use cuttings from something, you can print something from the internet if you want and put it in there. You can have a cork board and then just start putting in there what you want to see. There is not a right or wrong way of doing this. Kathleen says, I wish you knew how much you inspire me. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Actually, this live session, today I wasn't supposed to do a live session. I had another call that was cancelled 2 days ago, and I thought, because I just finished this, and I thought, wow, this was such an amazing process for me, so healing, so inspiring, and I really wanted to share this with you guys. So that's why I decided today to sneak in this session 2 days prior, because I really wanted to give this some space and to share it with you, because I'm so happy and proud of myself for doing this, because it was difficult. It was difficult to do it. This is one of the things that my logical mind says, that's a waste of time. You are wasting your time. There are other important things to do. What are you doing cutting pictures? Who believes in that? All that was going on through my mind. And I was like, just have fun, just trust the process, just dream. That's what I wanted to do, just dream and spend time with yourself. And just that alone, guys, is just worth it. When was the last time that you spent time with yourself doing something that inspires you and thinking about, what do I want in my life? How do I want to feel? What is important for me? And you create that parenthesis, that pause in your busy life that is protected. You get to design an environment, you play music, you light a candle, you do something that makes you feel well, that helps you step into this ceremonial space for yourself. And then you do it. And even sometimes I will sit here for 5 minutes, cut 3 pictures, and then I would leave. Some other times I will sit for half an hour. Some other times I was with my daughter because she came after, and I say, okay, join me. And then she will just sit here, and then she will do her own thing, cut her own stuff, and then we will be together having quality time. And she was asking me, what are you doing, Papi? I said, well, I'm doing a vision board that I wanted to do 3 weeks ago, and I didn't get to do it. So now I'm doing it, and I want you to see me. You want to help me? Cut this. And then she would just cut something and put it there. So it can be really, really nice, a really nice process. You can also do that with your partner, with a good friend, with whoever you feel inspired to do it with. So let me see. Vision boards work. You have a specific experience, Chene, that you want to share about something that worked for you? Because I would love to listen to it. But yes, they do work. Me encanta, qué guay. Becca says, it's turn to see the growth of a child into the adult. Will you show yours again, your photos? Yeah. So let me see if I can. So this is me riding the bicycle when I was little. This was probably one of the first times that I was riding the bicycle alone, because I remember my father and my mom were always holding the seat in the back and they had back pain. And then this is me also eating something, I don't know what, but that's me. And then that's us now. And that's my daughter Eva. And then that's me in a waterfall. I really like this picture. It really represents the abundance and the flow. This is me and my daughter on the beach floating. Okay, and then well, this is me and Samantha, and I cut it in heart shape because to me it represents love, intimacy, and then I put this amazing bedroom here, and then this amazing bed table that this represents intimacy, ceremony. This represents quality time, good food, family time, and then these two things also. And then in here you can see this is Samantha when she's little, and this is me with my daughter kite surfing, and then this is Samantha too here. And then the rest are just pictures that I cut from places, okay? So I don't know those people, but they inspire me to do something. Okay, does one board inspire you to do another one? Becca, you know what? So this board, I have it either here or I have it on top of my altar. So what I do now, maybe I light a candle and then I step in front of it, and then maybe I take this Palo Santo and then I light it up, and then I smudge myself, and then I start looking at it, and I start looking at everything that is on that board, right? And I start to really connect with everything. Water sports, my wife and our relationship, and then my daughter, the father I want to become, the house I would like to live in, and then I keep paying attention. Right now, when I say the house and I visualize myself, I still don't have clarity about how that looks like because I feel conflicted inside. Okay, what is my conflict? My conflict is my belief system says having a house that is expensive is gonna equal me working way more and being a slave of that house. That is my belief here, okay? It doesn't mean it's true, but that's what I feel. So I feel resistance. I feel having a house represents maintenance, represents a lot of work that I don't want to have. So that's another limiting belief. Another one is having a house that it has space inside, it's wasteful because I have to heat it, I have to AC because I want to be comfortable in it, and then that represents being wasteful. So I don't want to be wasteful. So that's another resistance piece that I have to work through. And like that, there are so many other layers, right? Where is that house located? Is it in Spain? Is it in Canada? Is it close to family, far from family? Is it in the city? Is it in nature? And then my wife has her own vision, I have my own vision, and we are trying to co-create something together. So that it's sparking a lot of conversations that are really healthy, that are really like, okay, let's start processing all these resistance that at the end of the day is just lack of clarity, and also like emotional attachment that we may have to things, limiting beliefs that that I need to change. So there are a lot of layers that I'm working through. With water sports, I still feel fear when I go kite surfing, and I have done it for like over 2 years, but I still feel tense when I go there. So that's something that I have to work through, right? Trusting myself, trusting my skills, trusting nature, asking for help. I don't have to do it alone. etc., etc. So it's really inviting me to get clear with myself, to see how I feel, and also to get clear with my wife, to get clear with people around me. And just that process is really wonderful. So I just started my vision board. I decided to put it on my Freak. I have collected pamphlets, business cards, pictures, etc. My focus has been, what do I want to buy? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? I just thought today that something is missing, and what's missing is what I love right now, so that I can use gratitude for what I have now and also have dreams for more. Julie, you are bringing an amazing topic that I wanted to cover, okay? And it's beautiful that you are doing that work, and it's beautiful that you are recognizing that, because that's something that I wanted to say. Like, the fact that you have a vision board, the fact that you are dreaming about the future, doesn't mean that you cannot be grateful for what you have now. It's quite the opposite. You have to start in the present moment being grateful for everything that you have, every opportunity that you have right now. And our job is to try to be happy, try to be content, try to be grateful right now, regardless of what's happening, regardless of the challenges. If we can nurture that inner peace, that inner happiness, then everything else is going to be easier. Everything else is going to be less relevant. Everything else is not going to affect us as much. And it doesn't mean that you are neglecting. It doesn't mean that you are not doing anything about it. You are still going to do the same, but with a different mindset. And when you create a vision board, you are not creating a vision board because you don't like what you have now and you are, this sucks, I have to. No, you are doing it from, I'm so grateful that I'm here. I'm so grateful that I have time to create this vision board. I'm grateful for the house I live in. I'm grateful for the food I eat. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful for having people around me. I'm grateful for, you start naming everything you are grateful for. And then from that gratefulness, in the present moment, you start expanding into what you want to create. But you have to start being grateful with what you have now and accepting your current situation. Because you, believe it or not, you have created the situation that you are in. You have to also take responsibility for everything that you have done in the past that have led you here. Because you created what you have now. And you are going to create what you will have in the future and the person that you will become. So it is a choice. And it doesn't matter if you are regretting something you did in the past. Now is the present moment. Now you have another opportunity to create something different. And a vision board can help you gain clarity, can help you spend time with yourself, can help you show that to other people, can help you remind yourself every day you see that, oh yeah, and then you start connecting with the feeling of what you are gonna feel when you are there, when you have that relationship, when you have that object, or when you are doing that activity. You start connecting with that. And what happens here is that, how likely are you to start finding opportunities, start finding ideas when you are reminded every day? For example, if I look at my vision board and I look, I see water sports. And if I see that every single day, how likely am I to go and do water sports, practice them? Way more likely than if I don't remember about it, right? So that's why I have my wing foil bodies on top of here, my kitesurfing bodies here that I showed you the other day. They are visual because I want to see them every day. I live one street away from the beach right now for the next 3 months. So every time there is wind, I want to go to the beach. I want to do the water sports. And the same with anything else in your life that you want to do more of. Just put it in front of you. Remind yourself. And I promise that the universe is going to start giving you signs, opportunities, and you are going to start seeing them. It's like when you want to buy a car. I want to buy this car, and you are clear. All of a sudden, you start seeing that car everywhere. Why is that? Because you are paying attention, because you got clear about what the car you wanted, and now it's just you are vibrating at the same frequency as that car. So you can do the same with activities, with people, with work, with hobbies, with whatever you want. Eva looks so much like her puppy. Thank you, Becca. So helpful, thank you. Becca says, when you look at your vision board, do you notice priorities that catch your eye? Yeah, of course. Becca, it's amazing how every time I look at my vision board, I try to do it every morning. I sit in front of here and then I look at it while I'm sipping my coffee. It doesn't have to take time. Just sip your coffee and then you just stare at it. It's like, oh. And then you start looking. And then I realize, oh wow, water sports. When was the last time I went to? Yeah, I should go today. Oh yeah, the house. What am I doing? Maybe I should check, see what's available. Maybe I should brainstorm with Samantha things we would like to see in that house. So you are nurturing every idea, right? Then I look at the relaxing. It's like, I really love that meditation retreat. Maybe I should go and do another one. Yeah. Or maybe there was a meditation that someone recommended that I still haven't done. So I'm going to do that today. And then see, you are in that flow. You are reminding yourself of what's important that you created. And sometimes you see something and then you start noticing, oh, this is already not relevant anymore in my life. So maybe it's time for me to do something different. And guess what? Grab something that is different that you are called to do and glue that picture on top of what you don't want anymore. And then you can create a vision board on top of the vision board. And you can cover the things that you feel, that's not relevant anymore, with things that are relevant. And then it's like your vision board keeps evolving with you. So you can totally do that if you wanted to. So yeah, that's what I see. I try to connect with, and then I also remind myself of the limitations and the emotions and blockages that I feel with the house situation. For example, I look at that and I remind myself, yeah, I have to do that work on that. Yeah, I still believe that, so I have to keep clearing that because it's not true. Yeah, maybe I need help with this, maybe I cannot do this alone. So it's always inviting you to keep going, right? So Anne says, feels like the real power of this is the mining of your core values rather than the finished product. You know what all those pictures represent. No one else needs to get it. Absolutely, Anne, this is your creation. This is your vision board. This is your dream board. This is what you want it to be. It doesn't have to be anything that someone tells you. It looks however you want it to look. And something important that I got from this process, when I sat there, I didn't know how it was gonna end up being. And I trusted the process of, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna do the next available step for me. So the first time, what is the next available step for me? Because I was feeling overwhelmed. I was procrastinating. My perfectionism was getting on the way. I need to see it finished. I need to know how it's gonna look like. I need to know where to place every picture. They have to be cut perfectly. No, forget about that. No. What is the next step? Okay, Emilio, sit there and put the 4 sheets of paper together and tape them. And that's it. That's the next step. Just do that. So I did that. And then I was sitting there, it's like, oh, I'm gonna start cutting pictures. So I started going through magazines, just flipping, and then when I felt something with a picture, I will cut that picture and put it aside. I will keep flipping pages, I will cut it, and then I will notice my feelings. Wow, that feels good, and I will question, why does it feel good? Wow, for example, with the houses, that feels good, and I will ask why. Wow, because this gives me peace. I don't know, just a question, guys. How do you feel when you look at this table? And for those of you who are watching the recording, listening to the recording, I will post this as a video, okay? This will be available as a video recording. So how do you feel when you look at this picture, right? I personally feel, wow, this is outdoor, it's a beautiful setup. I feel invited, I feel honored, I feel like I can spend here some time talking about something. It just feels good. So I will cut that picture. And this is what I recommend. How do you feel, for example, when you see this picture here, right? You see this couple on the beach, this one here. How do you feel about that? And again, every person is gonna feel something different, right? So there is not a right or wrong way. When I saw that, I saw connection, I saw quality time, I saw relaxed time, intimacy, fun. Same with this, right? And then when you see, for example, when you see this one here, so in the background, this is one of my favorite mountains. It's called Montserrat. it's a magical mountain. I love it. So when I see this, is this woman staring at this beautiful picture, and this is what I saw when I went to do the meditation retreat. I was camping on my tent, and when I opened the tent, this is what I saw. So to me, this picture reminds me of meditation, reminds me of connection with myself, reminds me of spirituality, reminds me of intentionality, core values. So that's how this starts to feel, right? And yeah, and Maura says, I don't know where to begin. Exactly, and you don't need to know. That's why, like, just what is the next step? And that's what I did. The next step is cutting this. The next step is just start flipping through magazines. The next step is I'm gonna group pictures by topic. I don't know why. The next step is I'm gonna start gluing things. And well, I don't know, I will feel. I will follow my intuition. I don't need to know. And then I will just place pictures, and then I will look at it from the distance. Oh, there is 3 houses, but I want some water sports now. I feel like that, so I will put the water sports. Now I feel like relaxing. I will put a relaxing picture. Now I need something that represents friendship and games with friends. So I put this one here, and then it started to take shape, right? And I didn't plan for the placement of the pictures. It just flowed that way. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you are feeling overwhelmed, it's normal. If you are procrastinating, it's normal. If you are noticing that you need to know what the next step is, and you are kind of feeling rigid, that's normal. And the work is to relax, to let go, to allow the process to unfold, to feel, to spend time with yourself. And maybe you just need to sit there in front of the magazines and everything and just breathe for 5 minutes. Just be there and just see what comes up. And then something will come up, just follow that. And then, like, that was me. I sat here, it's like, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna tape this together, so I need tape. I went, get the tape. Oh, I need some music. I put some music, and then I started, oh, maybe a candle will be nice. I light a candle. Oh, maybe that magazine is like kind of a travel magazine. Let's have a peek. Had a peek. Oh, let's cut some pictures. I'm done for today. Okay, leave. I left everything that way. So my room was a mess for like 3 or 4 days, but I knew that, and I was okay with it. I was getting to bed, that is here, I'm sitting on my bed. I was getting to bed, stepping on top of my vision board. And my daughter was doing the same, and I was telling her, Eva, be careful with my vision board. Don't break it, but you can come over, but please honor it. And she honored it for all the days that it was here, right? So the process will be however it needs to be, and you don't have to control it. That's what I'm trying to say. Where can we view this recording? Kathleen, if you go to my Insight Timer profile link, you click in there, and then you will have an option that says Insight Timer live session recordings. Click in there, and then you will find a way to sign up. And there is a free option and there is a paid option. You can choose whatever you want, and then you can have all the recordings for my past 2 years in there. Okay. So sweet, your daughter. Thank you. It's kind of fun to expose my daughter, she's 4 years old, to all these things, right? Because she's gonna grow up, and then it won't be weird for her to have a vision board. She has a lot of things in her room, and then she said, I want to have my vision board too. That's what she says. So cute. And then it's like, okay, let's create one with the things you want. So that will be an activity that we can do together. But now she saw me doing it. She saw the mess that I had. She saw me gluing things. She sees me moving this around and talking about it. She sees Samantha's one. And she's going to be like, yeah, that's a dream board. A dream board, no big deal. I know how to do it. I know what's for. And just imagine the power that she's going to have when she grows up if she wants to do it. So guys, any questions about the process, any questions, any things you want to share of your own experience with boards, if you have one? Someone mentioned, I think it was Chene, mentioned that they work. I would like to know, like, why do you think that? And do you have a specific example? M says, what did you mention was above when you look up? What did I mention that was above when I looked up? So I have the vision board here on top of my altar, and then I look at it when I'm, and then I have a lot of pictures also on top of it on a string. I just put 2 nails and a string, and I have a lot of pictures that also represent things for me, like my friends. I have pictures that I printed with my parents when they were really young and us as babies. I have pictures of me practicing water sports. I have pictures of places we've been. So I look at that too. When did you create your board? What has changed for you? So Cynthia, when did I create the board? A couple of weeks ago. Okay, this one, specifically this one. I had others in the past, okay? But this one I created a couple of weeks ago, okay? And what has changed for me? A lot of clarity. As I mentioned, when I was doing it, I was getting clarity about how do I feel about this with the house situation, for example. What am I feeling? What is my resistance about this dream? And what do I need to work through to make this dream happen? That has changed. And then after having this, I was so inspired with my work and so proud of myself that I created an altar. I created a very nice and place to relax and to be in. And then I created a ceremony every day. Like I get up and then I sit in front of my altar, I light a candle, I maybe smudge myself with some Palo Santo or whatever, and then I look at the vision board and I am there looking at the vision board. Sometimes I do a meditation, sometimes I just look at it. I have a little mirror, sometimes I am looking at myself in the mirror, just noticing what's present. And then having the vision board in front of me is just such a wonderful reminder of the things I want to accomplish in my life and how do I want to feel. So that's what has changed for me. Sorry, I would love if you would do a vision board creation live session. I'm a huge believer too. Have done a couple and seen results. So Violet, just curious, how is the format of that live session looks like? What will that look like for you for that live session? What would you like to see, and what will you need to be able to do it? Would you be willing to show your altar? Do you have a session on creating one of those? Cynthia, thank you for asking, because I was thinking about my experience with an altar, because I just created the first one. I never had an altar before, and now I have an altar here. I create a portable one also that I take to places. I am doing circles with my friends, and I set up all this stuff with all these things, and my friend is like, who is this guy? So I will be happy to share my little experience so far with altars. Absolutely, I will put it on my to-do to schedule a call about that, and why I think it's important. Having an altar is similar to having a vision board. It's just you have objects, you have things that represent what you want to have more in your life, the person that you are, things that you are proud of, things that make you be grateful about, and you can place whatever you need. Like in my altar there, I have a few things in here. This is also for me, it's an altar, okay? So I have my juggling balls that I love, I have a candle, I have my singing bowl, I have this thing that I bought that is basically, I put it in here and I punch this ball, and it's so much fun, it gets me moving. And I see my wife sneaking into my room, grabbing it, going to her room and doing that. And then my daughter takes it and then she plays. My friends had a tournament to see who hit this longer. So I honor the playfulness that this thing brings me. My oracle cards, my guitar, some nature that Samantha bought me this plant. So an altar can be whatever you want it to be. Emilio, you might want to check out Create and Toss on this platform. They create collectively. Amazing. I was thinking we could create one while we watch. Yeah, Violet, the only thing that I don't know how to manage is that, yeah, maybe that's my own limitation actually. But yeah, I could do one where we are actually going to create one. That would be good. But then people may need to have supplies at hand, right? Maybe I can write that on the description to You need to have magazines, you need to have the pictures that you need, or maybe you need to, maybe it can be a two-part live session. One part is getting ready and talking about all the logistics and setting the intention and then gathering everything, and maybe the following week can be the actual process of actually physically doing it. I don't know, I'll think about it. What do you think about finding images and photos on your phone and creating dream board file? I think it's great, Kathleen. I do feel that I would recommend that you do both. You can do both, but there is nothing wrong with having those pictures and having an actual gallery, and every now and then you go through that and then you look at things, because that's helping you connect with what you want, right? And then you visualize yourself in that place, driving that car, doing that activity, experiencing that relationship. Whatever you have the picture of is going to evoke something in you. I still feel that having something tangible, something that doesn't require technology screens, it's very powerful. Because when you are trying to create sacred space, having a device in there, it just doesn't feel right to me, because it's full of distractions, electromagnetic stuff. It's just difficult to be quiet with a device, at least for me, because there is always something happening in there. There is always something that you can get distracted with. But again, try and test it, and if it works for you, there is not a right or wrong way of doing this. So you can do that, and if it works, that's great. I don't see why not. Violet says, I have done both. Yeah. Maybe do 4 short intention setting meditation as prompts for creating the board. Yeah, doing a kind of meditation, any kind of practice that you feel called to. Maybe it's playing some music, maybe it's drumming, maybe it's playing the singing bowl, maybe it's lighting a candle and doing some breathing. Doing a ceremony prior to is really powerful. It really helps you get into that energy of, what am I going to do now? This is the transitioning that I talk about when I talk about executive functioning skills. I talk about transitioning, and that really helps you transition from whatever you are doing, the ordinary day-to-day stuff, into sacred time for yourself. And that sacred time can be creating a vision board, can be processing emotions that are hard through tapping, can be listening to a guided meditation, can be laying down on your back for 20 minutes and just relaxing, can be anything. But you are transitioning into that. And then when you finish, you transition out of that, and then that thing becomes sealed, becomes special, becomes intentional. I agree. Something about thoughts and building with your hands too. Yeah, I feel that can be really good, because this is another option, right? Like what I was mentioning, like if you don't want to cut, and you can also draw. You can have colors, you can have a piece of paper, and you can let your mind go wild. Some people connect more with this. Some people connect more with the cutting. Some people do a combination of them. So again, there is not a right or wrong way of doing this. You just have to find your way. And to find your way, you just need to explore, be curious, give it a try, get started, and then see what comes out of you. So guys, time is almost up. I don't know if you guys have any other questions that you would like me to cover. As always, if you enjoy this talk, you can support me with a donation. I always accept donations with love. And I hope that you get inspired to get started creating your own vision board, however that looks like, however shape, form, process you feel inspired to do. Follow your intuition. Let go of perfectionism. Just show up for the process and notice what's present. Just you noticing what shows up, trying to do this, it's going to give you a lot of clues of that behavior and how that may show up in other areas of your life. Okay? Because if you, in my case, I was feeling overwhelmed, I was feeling that I was procrastinating, and I was letting my perfectionism control me. So I was noticing that, and that's why I forced myself to do, what is the next step? What is the next step? I don't have to start and finish in one day. and I was able to move through the process. But then I thought about, where does this pattern show up in my life? And it shows up in so many other areas. So now I am aware of it and I try to correct it. So use that also as a clarification exercise. I so appreciate you. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you for your donation, Violeta. Rachel says, thank you. I joined so late, but I'm inspired to start a vision board. Seeing something so positive each day will be powerful. Absolutely, Rachel. There will be a recording available. You can find it on my profile link. Inside Timer profile link, you can click in there, and there is an option that says recordings, and you will find the video later today. I will post it there. Okay. Are you still in Barcelona, Maria? Yes, I am. I am here until December 15th, that we fly back to Canada. So I will be here for 3 more months. Yeah, still loving my life here, and also excited to go back. Some sadness, some happiness, a little bit of mix. But yeah, I'm excited to allow things to go and flow how they need to. But I'm so happy that I can do this work from anywhere in the world. I'm so happy that you guys are showing up, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can just show up and see each other. I love your soul, Emilio. What a gift you are. Thank you so much, Maria. So guys, if you don't have any other burning questions, I really appreciate your donations and your support. Thank you for your presence. Don't let your procrastination and your perfectionism stop you from doing something, even if it's snapping a couple photos and putting them in a place where you can see them, even if it's writing yourself a quote that you really like and putting it in a place that you can see it every day. Just get started with whatever next step is available to you. Okay? You don't have to create this if you don't have the space, time. Get started in whatever way feels good to you, and I promise you that everything is going to start flowing. You just have to show up. Okay? Muchas gracias, Maria. Thank you to you. Okay, guys, I hope that you have an amazing rest of the day and weekend, and I hope to see you on Tuesday, where we will have another live session. Everything is scheduled, so I have a few live sessions scheduled, so feel free to join, and I will see you on Tuesday at the same time. Okay? Adiós.